Story 1. The way women eat bananas or popsicles concerns some people. My manager literally advised me to be cautious while eating a banana during my lunch break because it might be suggestive. I just want to eat my fruit in peace. Story 2. Platonic relationships. Everyone assumes that being nice to each other must lead to sexual desires. Story 3. Women's clothing can be difficult to find, especially shorts that reach the middle of my thigh. It's the same with uniforms for children. Story 4. Teens on screen. I understand they are adults playing teens, but we are meant to think they are children. There is excessive sexualization. Story 5. Furniture is typically advertised with women wearing revealing dresses, while men are rarely featured. It seems that attractive women are more effective in selling furniture in advertisements than men. Story 6. Women camping. Every YouTube thumbnail of a woman camping is visually appealing, often featuring her in dynamic poses or showcasing outdoor activities. Story 7. School uniforms should not be considered appealing, yet they are celebrated in some places as an ultimate fantasy, particularly in Catholic or religious schools. Story 8. Children in modern movies and series. There is a stark difference in how 10-year-olds were portrayed in the past and how they are portrayed now. They are often underdressed with extra padding to emphasize their non-existent chests. It happens so frequently that it cannot be coincidental. Nobody needs this. Let kids act like kids. Story 9. The world, life, and everything. Sex isn't that important, people. Stop acting like it's the best thing since sliced bread. Story 10. I went outside this morning and saw my mailbox. I put some letters in it and it made a noise. When will this end? Story 11. Lesbians have no reason for men to be as interested in us as they often are. We aren't interested in them, so why do they feel the need to sexualize us so much? Story 12. Nudity is the purest and most natural form of our bodies. I don't understand why it is considered such a taboo topic in our society. Story 13. There is nothing wrong with finding female breasts attractive. However, it is ridiculous that women are harassed or arrested in some states or countries for being topless in the same places where men can be. It is considered public indecency for women but not for men. Story 14. Luigi is kind of cute. I understand his motivations. I think United Healthcare has issues, and the CEO bears responsibility for many of those. However, I don't find him as attractive as others seem to. Perhaps he is just not my type. Story 15. I know people have fetishes, but sometimes the fascination with feet is a little overdone. Nickelodeon featured too many foot-related elements during Dan Schneider's time there. Story 16. I can't believe so many people are answering banana. What is going on in your country for people to constantly sexualize bananas? Story 17. Toddler clothes. All my daughter's pants come from the boys section because she doesn't need skin-tight leggings or shorts. She's 3. Plus, at this age, they need to learn to dress themselves. And tight clothing is unhelpful when you have a toddler desperately trying to get her pants off to pee. A lot of her shirts are boys too because she loves Spider-Man, diggers, and cars. Any car will do, but if it's red, that's even better because all red cars are related to Lightning McQueen. And breastfeeding. Luckily, I had very little shame to begin with. After having a dozen people in my room while giving birth, I don't know what shame is anymore, so I used to just feed my daughter anywhere and anytime she needed. If that grosses you out, grow up. If you find a woman feeding a baby sexual, grow up. Side note. Now, I don't see my body as sexual anymore because of the breastfeeding association. Is that common? Story 18. Having a body. Why do skirts have to come to the knee to be decent? Why is a bit of cleavage inherently sexual? It is unflattering to have to cover up your natural shape. Don't even get me started on shoes. Are knee-high boots too sexy for the office now? Get a grip. Story 19. I find songs about sex cringeworthy, and artists who perform and try to act sexual are equally unappealing. Additionally, I find this subject matter dull and uninteresting. Story 20. In many art spaces on social media, you often see Brazilian versions of Miku and Skyla from Pokémon, primarily due to their Latina designs. While these characters were already sexualized to begin with, I find that the additional Latina element feels excessive. It seems as though their newfound racial identity is being sexualized, which is somewhat unsettling. Story 21. Everything is confusing. We are a brainwashed society for the most part. I am joking, but watching Idiocracy reveals how close we are to that reality. Story 22. Children are viewed differently by each person. I can say that an underage girl is pretty or cute as a comment, but I am not implying anything inappropriate. I am simply acknowledging her beauty. However, some people may judge this opinion harshly. Finding someone attractive or cute does not mean that you harbor any forbidden desires. Story 23. Nearly everyone and everything. Please stop sexualizing anything that is not directly related to sex. I see my girlfriends in a girls' school not wearing what they want because they are afraid of being considered immodest. To whom? The school teachers? Unnecessary sexualization needs to stop now and remain that way. Story 24. This is from my childhood, but those weird Hardee's commercials where supermodels take a bite of the burger make me wonder why you want me to crave your greasy sandwich. Story 25. Women's breasts. I'm a woman from the USA, and I understand that breasts can be a fun topic. However, I simply want to relax at the beach and enjoy the sun on them without any concerns. Unfortunately, some individuals may take pictures or stare inappropriately. I find it quite unfair that I have to cover up while men can be topless. Story 26. Concerts and music festivals should be enjoyable, filled with singing and dancing. However, they often feel overly sexualized, as seen with artists like Sabrina Carpenter and Doja Cat, similar to other female performers. At 24, I find it uncomfortable to watch. Story 27. Little girls' Halloween costumes have improved somewhat, but last Halloween my daughter wanted to dress as a character from Spy X Family. However, I was shocked by the sexualization of children's costumes. Story 28. A foot fetish is something I have never understood. I was confused when I saw my first adult video where a girl started stimulating a man with her feet. I thought to myself, okay, maybe that's some cultural aspect. Story 29. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm not a prude, but some people on that team could have benefited from a cold shower when designing those characters. Story 30. Everything seems to be overly sexualized. A smile to myself at work means that my partner is loving me well. When I walk by my gay coworker, it suggests to my colleagues that he is my husband. Of course, he and I laughed at the absurdity of the suggestion. It is never going to happen, but it is what it is. Story 31. People from developing countries are individuals whom you can support. Sponsoring a gringo card does not imply that people are compromising their dignity for someone inadequate. Story 32. Humans face various issues, ranging from clothing design and beauty pageants, particularly for children, to decency laws, slut-shaming, and the censorship of nudity in educational contexts. The fear of demonetization extends to societal perceptions of nursing a baby as a private act. Additionally, there is an assumption of sexual relationships based on heteronormative proximity, evident in scenarios such as kiss cams and the terms work spouse or my sibling, not my significant other. Story 33. I was with my family my whole life. If I wore a tank top, I was treated like I was asking for attention, but they bought them for me. It was a hot climate, so if I wore a tank top and leggings, it felt like I was strutting for attention. They were so obsessed with everything I did that even my own sister and aunt acted like creepy relatives. Story 34. Parental issues and mental illness in individuals, usually women but generally an assigned female at birth people, are concerning. It is troubling to see individuals fetishize the vulnerabilities of others. Story 35. Children can find clothing in some stores that resembles women's attire, often quite revealing. The rhetoric surrounding virginity suggests that anyone who still possesses it is considered a loser. Story 36. I saw a comparison between boys' and girls' clothing for young children, and the shorts they were selling were shorter than I would be comfortable wearing now at 23 years old. No 5-year-old needs to be wearing very short shorts and crop tops. Story 37. Milk. I want to drink milk without someone saying, Are you drinking? So annoying and cringeworthy. Story 38. Fruits and vegetables. We are a strange species. I would consider some of these. Story 39. Animal Crossing should not be sexualized. Anka has been my favorite villager since I started playing on the Nintendo DS. Unfortunately, she is now forever associated with certain online communities that distort her character. They have ruined Anka just as they have marred Vaporeon. The same can be said for Pokemon and perhaps Nintendo games in general. Story 40. Literally everything. But that's what happens when society is governed by individuals who exhibit sociopathic tendencies. These individuals are often too impulsive to control their primary instincts, with reproduction and sexuality being foremost among them, while competition and aggression follow closely behind. Platforms like Reddit can be almost unbearable due to the pervasive discussion of sexuality. It was similar on Tumblr before the platform implemented a ban on adult content. After the ban, many individuals moved to Reddit, leading to a significant decline in the quality of discussions overnight, which has continued to worsen. These are individuals who struggle to control their sexuality and ultimately cannot control anything. All that remains for them is aggression and abuse. This situation arises when those with mental health challenges establish societal norms, making mental illness the standard and everything else the problem. Story 41. The word mummy is often used as a joke about attractive female characters, and it can come off as cringeworthy. This joke has even made its way into children's shows and movies. Story 42. Sabrina Carpenter should just wear normal clothes. Why do male pop stars wear whatever, but it seems women can only perform in lingerie or something similar? Story 43. Women in video games and little girls in video games often face unrealistic expectations. They either need to be empowered characters like Eve from Stellar Blade, or else some individuals lose their composure. Story 44. Calling your parents daddy and mummy, especially when you are past your childhood age, may seem like an ethnic thing. However, I find it difficult to call my parents dad and mom. It sounds too formal and unaffectionate. Story 45. Any LGBTQ plus relationship or identity is valid. When people reduce it to a kink while individuals are simply trying to live their lives, it complicates communication around the topic. When gay identity makes headlines, I often hear even moderate individuals say, "I don't care who they sleep with. That is not the focus. Concentrate on the broader issues involved. That aspect is private and not your concern." Story 46. I can't think of an answer directly related to me, but I have two thoughts. One is about goths. I know a lot of that is just memes, but I know many guys who hang around certain clubs but never go inside because they say, "I'm just trying to talk to a goth girl." And I'm always like, dude, you're wearing a Baltimore Ravens jersey. Come on. If you want to get to know goths, you have to at least engage with the culture a little bit. The other is anime. I know the saying, "No dude, like I know she looks like she's 10, but she's actually 6 billion years old," is mostly a meme, but you would be surprised how many people have actually said that to me with complete seriousness. And they're all around 28 years old and unemployed, not teenagers. Story 47. Unpopular opinion, but I believe that gay sex is prominently promoted. Based on my own research, it seems that many men may be gay, even if they hide it, particularly among conservative married men. This is just my observation. If you would like to discuss it further, I am happy to share my reasons. Story 48. It is frustrating that throughout my childhood, I experienced being hit on and catcalled more in my dance uniform, which is not even revealing, than in my normal clothes, which tend to be more revealing. It's even more troubling when I inform them that I am a teenager and they come on stronger. Story 49. Comedy movies about college life often depict excessive partying and minimal class attendance. Story 50. People with disabilities. It seems some view us as a fetish or fantasy, or even as just a one-time thing. They want to know how we function. We are human too. I may not be in a wheelchair, but I have mobility issues and other disabilities, and I refuse to be anyone's fetish. Story 51. You might not think twice about a hamburger advertisement, But some brands transform a simple meal into a romantic scene that is more about seduction than condiments. Story 52. Feet and dirty underwear from random women you don't even know. I just don't understand it. I really don't get it at all. Story 53. Women's clothing serves a purpose, but I just don't like it. I prefer to wear pants and a shirt that do not emphasize the contours of my body. As a man in his mid-20s, I consider myself to be in decent shape, aside from my arms being a bit thin. I believe self-confidence should not come from how one dresses, but rather from hygiene and character. Caring about one's appearance should stem from a desire to have a healthy body. My views may be unpopular, but they are my own. Story 54. Teenagers in fiction. Now in my 40s, something struck me while watching Cobra Kai. Just how much adult-focused media revolves around the dating and sexual lives of teens. Once I noticed it, I began to see it everywhere. To be clear, this is different from the content aimed specifically at young adults and teens. Story 55. I've seen no suggestions regarding breast content. It is clearly over-sexualized. Male nipples can be seen, but not female ones. I don't know if this originates from the United States or from Muslim countries, but it is a strange commonality between the two. Story 56. I'm grossed out by how sexualized the world has become. Can everyone tone it down a bit? Thank you. Story 57. Men eating bananas or anything resembling phallic shapes. I have seen men cut hot dogs to avoid whatever it is they are trying to avoid. Just eat your hot dogs, please. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.